Well, I'm talking.
Oh, I'm black. Oh, feel sorry for me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Are you racist?
Hey, welcome back. A Tale of Two Blacks. Now, this happened on the same day that I just gotten over that hour-long bullshit conversation with that black couple from Washington, D.C. So along came this other couple from Washington, D.C., who were very nice. I was having a wonderful conversation with them. It was really good. Nice, respectful, back and forth, talking about policy. We were talking about policy. It was great. And along comes this, he's a local guy, I assume, because he made statement that he's seen me out there before. And I guess he wanted to impress his girlfriend. And again, you notice the cookie cutter talking points. Oh, grab pussy. Oh, send him back. And the same old bullshit. Oh, racist, blah, 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 right? So me and him about it, we start butting heads. And you just see this stark contrast here between what you get when you get an intelligent person and an idiot that is just nothing but, oh, gee, feel sorry for me. I'm a black man. Oh, we're victimized. Oh, we need this. We need that. You bad white people. Fuck you. So, you know, that pretty much, you'll see the stark difference here. This is a perfect example of what it's like to, when you get someone with two functioning brain cells and you get one that's in the negative. So, you like it, you care, you share. Still would like to see some subscribers to Subscribestar. Now you're out there. And if you like, you like what I'm doing, you can see the pain I'm going through. I could sort of use some love. Subscribestar.com, Badass Uncle Sam. Pick a level. Or at least go get one of my designs, huh? Well, that'd be nice. That helps. PayPal, of course. Badass Uncle Sam 76 at gmail.com. If you can't do anything else for me, pray for me. If you can do everything else for me, pray for me anyway. All right, let's get to this one. I'll see you on the flip side. Hey, good to see you, man.
I saw your test.
Yeah.
So what is the criteria for me to pass the Democratic test?
Where are you guys from?
DC.
Really?
Yeah.
I just had a real 40-minute conversation with another guy from DC. We went round and round and round.
Yeah.
He wouldn't tell me what he did in DC, but he says, I work in the government. Well, tell me what? He wouldn't tell me. I don't know, maybe he picks up the garbage for him. What do you do there? What do you do in DC?
I work for the Department of Commerce.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You know, I spoke to out here not last week, the week before. That guy comes up wearing a mega hat. Okay.
You said black guy comes up wearing a mega hat?
Yeah.
From DC?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, well, who are you? Because he worked for Ben Carson. He was a senior advisor for HUD.
Okay.
And he works elbow to elbow with Ben Carson.
Okay.
And he gave me like a 35-minute interview. It's terrific. So, so you do what? And what do you do for the Department of Commerce?
I'm an economist.
Oh, cool.
Right. So I'm a programmer.
All right. Well, are you a Democrat? Do you consider yourself?
I probably lean more moderate, but I probably will vote Democrat. I voted Democrat in the last couple elections since I was.
What attracted you to them?
What attracted me to vote Democrat? Specifically, it would be where I come from. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I come from a low socioeconomic status place. In those places, we have what in some respects, what will be taken advantage of by conservative politics, and what will be also, I see both sides. So like, and when you think about the Democrat, a lot of things that we see right now, not necessarily in traditional bureaucracy, is I guess like stuff that pisses people from Trump off, that love Trump or like love the conservative way of thinking.
But isn't it?
Let me finish your thought.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Is socialism, stuff like that. So I come from a place where a lot of the programs that are put in place and a lot of the money that's being spent through taxes benefit people in those neighborhoods. So because I've been able to come out of those neighborhoods doesn't mean that I should leave them behind and not be able to help them fund those government programs that help them, because if I see them working, then I want
Well,
to happen for them.
from some people that myself, that from Washington, other people that were in politics, but say that the money that Trump has put into the economic zones, into the low-income economic zones, has been helping out a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any,
In terms of what? Like,
Well,
what specific programs are you talking
to
about?
start, in other words, like black businesses are at an all-time high, 400% increase in small business, black businesses, 400% increase, because he's been pouring money into the low economic zones to help blacks start their own businesses. So that's on record. He's put a lot of money into that. That's one of the things I talked to about the guy from HUD, because they were talking about low income and how we're helping out and what's being done. And I asked him, what's stopping it? And he says, the communists in the government right now. He says about 85% of our government are socialist communists who are stopping the economic planks that we're trying to put in that would allow people to rise themselves up and not count on a government program. Are you familiar with Candace Owens?
Yes, I know Candace Owens.
Yeah. And basically, she started out a liberal, and then, when Trump got in, she started listening to him and said, wait a second, we started to make sense. And now she flipped over, of course, because she's going, the Democrats basically keep us on the plantation by giving us things all the time.
So I understand what you're saying in terms of like the economy, what you're getting at. What happens with corporations and small businesses, whenever you decide to raise taxes to put money towards social programs, the discrepancy is that money is being taken out and that those businesses have to spend more money paying taxes than putting it into their business and funding their own. Is that what you're talking about?
Well,
so like businesses have to close down
but the social programs themselves become a crutch. There was a guy that came out here just a couple of weeks ago. I love this.
Well, you said the social programs become a crutch.
Give me an example. This black guy came out. First he said, "Church an asshole," and so we went at it a little bit, He came back a half hour later. He says, "Man, I'm sorry, I yelled at you. Like, let's talk. This is great. Turns out he works in the Department of Welfare. He's the one that evaluates and hands it out. This is what he said to me. You see this on video. It's lovely. He goes, look, I work in this. I hand out social programs. This is what I do. And what pisses me off more than anything are the people that take advantage of it.
So let me explain my economic theory when it comes to that, because I don't feel like it's that simple. In terms of, I think it's a lot more nuanced than money goes and corporations have to spend money on taxes as opposed to putting it towards hiring and creating more businesses. A lot of times in the United States, when we have, I believe that we have an appropriation problem, not necessarily a tax problem. So we talk about like taxes and where money is coming from via taxes. Okay, let's tax the rich, let's tax the middle class, let's tax the poor. That really doesn't matter because the money is there when it comes to tax revenue. We have a pretty reliable formula as to how much we can tax Americans, and the United States can make money off of that. As opposed to if you go more towards socialist policies, if people are working and they see that they're spending too much on taxes, they don't see an incentive to work because they're like, I'm not making any money. But if you choose less of taxes, yeah, people get to spend 100% of their money, but the infrastructure crumbles around you.
Well, yes, if Kennedy reduced taxes and then the tax revenues increased to record levels.
Right. So
and the same thing with Trump. We've got record level taxes.
Trump just gave a guy the Medal of Freedom last week. The guy that created the bell curve that explains this. So I mean, so let's talk about what does make sense with the bell curve.
Okay.
if you increase taxes to the point where people don't see an incentive to work, they probably will stop working. We've seen this in socialist companies. But what I'm saying is, like, if you do increase taxes, that's a fact. Like, if you increase taxes to the point where people don't see an incentive to work, they stop working, right? Where if you lower taxes to the point where, you know, infrastructure is crumbling all around you, you also have an issue because, yeah, everybody keeps their money and everybody can create jobs and everything like that, but then you don't have enough to fund what we've agreed on in socialist programs.
Yeah, but the infrastructure is already crumbling around us.
You're right.
So, you know, and again, but
but that's an appropriation issue.
Well, indeed, but then we go directly to the corruption that's in our government, because the waste and the corruption that's in there right now. Let me cut straight to the chase with this. Okay. It's like the guy, the Ben Carson gentleman I spoke to, said. When I asked him what's the problem, he says our government is like corrupt. 85% of it is corrupt.
What does that mean?
They're working to bring this country to its knees and bring in a world government. Let me give you this. This is cutting to the chase here. This is right to the bone. The only reason the elites have kept us around this long is because they needed slave labor. That's the only reason. They always keep that artificial boundary there. So we just make it
automation.
They always kept that boundary there where we just make enough money to live on. We never really, almost times when we did prosper, you know, but they always then put a cap on it. It's like I was just had a great conversation with a guy earlier about how they artificially suppress the supply of fossil fuels. I mean, if we had the refineries and the carburetors that could give us 100 miles to the gallon, gas would be 10 cents a gallon. Mm-hmm. We'd be free of that. If they allowed free energy technology to be out there, which we do have, we could run our house in a box something that size. We'd never get. That's it. You buy the box, you get energy for life. So they have these artificial caps. The powers that be always want control over us. They've always wanted control of us. Last thing they want is a bunch of free people running around, you know, that are happy because then they're not in control. Remember, we're dealing with psychopaths and sociopaths. That's who they are. That's who they always have been. Now that AI, robotic technology is taking over the jobs, I asked a Harvard professor out here one day, what is that going to do to the people on the street we're seeing walking here in the next 10 years?
What is automation going to do?
Yeah. Or AI robotic technology. What is it going to do to the people you see on the street? This is what he answered. Let me give you this, because they took this video down. Okay. I got letters from Harvard. They were going to sue me if I didn't take it down. Okay. I said, what are you going to do with the people on the street? And he says, about 50% of them in the next 10 years will be out of work. I said, what are we going to do with all these out of work people? He looked at me immediately and said this. In the past, we've killed you. So the idea is to go ahead and put us on social programs, get us dependent on the government, and rip it out from underneath us.
I'm not sure.
Put us on GMO foods.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, though.
Well, again, this is a hard truth. It's a hard truth.
I can't say it's a hard truth because you know why we've been moving towards automation for the last 300 years.
Yes.
They used to be.
But never like this before where, you know,
But we have a precedence for how to handle this. Like, this creates new jobs. We don't have the production jobs, which is an issue. I will say that one of the things that, like, the Globalization Act of '94 would have done.
But most of our jobs come through, like, manufacturing. But if you have robots making things, that's why you got this Yang guy saying, let's give everybody $1,000 so they can sit in a cubicle and play video games. You think the elites really want that?
So the next step that you have is how do you train people, how do you create the infrastructure so that you can deal with your commodity. Our commodities now are taxes and economic and
they don't
intelligence.
give a shit about us. Don't you understand? Just like back in the days of slavery, they didn't give a shit about the black man because he was like, you were just a commodity. And if you died, they just buy another one. Well, we're slaves. We are slaves. We're all slaves. We're all slaves to them, and they don't hear us anymore.
What I would say is your boy, Trump, is a staunch what? He's a capitalist, right?
Yes.
Which means in capitalism, you get to make yourself what you want to be marketable, correct? You get to say, okay, well, I'm marketable enough to where it doesn't matter what you provide me, I can go out and I can go sell my skills, can I?
Hopefully.
Whether I'm black, white, Latino, it doesn't matter who I am, right? So it doesn't matter who.
A stupid brick wall at that.
Okay.
I mean, all he's doing is, look at that. You gonna support misogynists? like sexist bullshit all the time? No.
Right, and this guy's bringing up shit that doesn't even matter.
All right, grab him by the pussy, right?
Oh yeah,
What if-
that, which
what if that
happened
what if that
before he
your
was
mom?
president. It doesn't mean
What if that was your mom? That defines who he is.
I gotta go.
I ain't talking bullshit with you.
A man's
go.
past.
You said the statement to him. Can I ask a question?
A
Can I
man's
ask a
past
question?
defines who he is.
Can I ask like what is the point of the with if anything Clinton as far as the
Not even that.
like
She's a criminal.
so-
Would you like to
so
take
can
the
I-
Democrat hypocrisy test?
Let me ask you a question.
Can I ask you a question? So can you feel like if anything the way that he speaks to women as far as respect, do you think
He's
that's
put
respectful?
more
Wait a minute.
women
No.
to work.
Let me-
He's put more
That-
women to
Yeah, you're right. No,
positions of high
you know what?
power.
You know what? I will
He
agree
is-
with that.
yeah.
I will agree with that. Stormy Daniels, he put her to work by paying her to fuck her, right? So you disagree?
You're bringing up
You
things that
disagree?
have nothing to do
well,
with policy.
Let me ask you a question.
No, I'm bringing
Let
up
me ask you a
policy.
question.
You're bringing up personality.
Let me ask you another
But we're
question.
talking-
That's bullshit,
Is
man. That is
that not
total
part of it
bullshit.
though? Is that not part of it?
And then she lost the case, didn't she? She owes him money, right?
Not really. What news are you watching? Turn it on.
Look
turn
it
on
up
like
right now.
real news. So let me ask
She
you a
owes
question.
Trump. She lost the case.
I bet you want me to go back to where the country I came from, right? Just like he told those four.
And you're taking
congresswomen.
that out of context.
Go back to where you came from if you don't like this
What?
country.
I was taken
All four
out
them
of
are
context.
Americans. You're full of shit. And I know I'm wasting my time talking to a brick wall because you're a fucking dumbass. Let's go.
I got money. I'll put up money against your
Let me
money.
ask you a question.
I'll put up money. 10 to 1 odds.
Let me ask you a question.
10 to 1 odds. Let's put it up.
10 to 1 odds.
10 to 1 odds.
Hold on.
Come on.
When-
You are like a
me
walking
ask
CNN talking point.
You're walking
You
back.
haven't got an original thought in your mind.
You're
Not
walking-
one.
You're
Now
walking
being
back at
10 to
shit.
1 odds. Let's go.
Listen.
Let's look it up.
Let me ask you a
10 to 1
question.
odds.
What's up,
Put your money where your
Let me
mouth
ask you a
is.
question.
Do you really
Oh,
feel like-
ain't
do you
money
really-
ain't no
wait,
problem.
wait,
You got
wait,
all
do you really
ones. I
feel
can put
that's
on.
Put your money where your mouth
Do you
is.
really
Hey,
feel like
hold
that's
on.
necessary as far
Let me
as
ask you a question.
Put your money where your mouth
Let me ask you a question. Hold up, baby.
He's
Hold on,
pulling up a whole bunch
Let me ask you a question.
Put your money 10 to 1 odds. Put up a
Bring all
dollar.
that
Let's
fucking money
go.
out because I got a question. When was America ever great? Pick a decade.
America's always great.
Pick a decade. Great for who?
Please don't pull him on money.
Pick a decade.
Anybody want to go ahead and
No, pick a decade. When was America ever great?
So, question: would you?
I like right after World War II.
Right in World War II, right? Where there was
Actually, we were pretty good before the Federal Reserve.
Where black
I think
people were
before
still fighting for their civil rights, right? Where black people-
Everybody's had a problem.
No.
Well, my
Fuck that.
my
Fuck
ancestors
that. Where
got
black
here.
people-
Fuck
where-
that. You
fuck
fuck
your
you.
ancestors.
When
We
my
built this
ancestors
shit.
got here,
That's the
they were
point.
getting paid less than the blacks.
Question. No, let me say one thing. Let me say one thing. Why does it have to be fuck you? Why can't you guys have a civil
then look at
conversation
this
without
shit.
He's
disrespect?
he's the
He
one
didn't
said fuck
disrespect you.
first.
He didn't disrespect you. He didn't say fuck.
asked you.
He didn't say fuck you.
You said- He
didn't
came up-
respect
wait,
me.
wait,
He
wait,
called
wait,
me an idiot.
Wait,
That's not disrespecting me.
Why are
You
you
are an
raising your
idiot.
voice
I
at me?
will
Because
say
I'm
that.
not raising my voice at you. I'm being respectful.
You don't like my voice? Walk away.
Okay, well,
I got
first
it.
off, you're being rude.
No, go back to where you
I
came
got a
from.
right to be rude. I don't give a shit.
Go back to the country you came from.
The damn First Amendment gives you a right to be rude, all right?
I'm asking
You don't like it? Walk.
Hey, just don't talk to her like
I'm
that, bro.
from New
Real
York.
shit. You're talking to me right now. You and I are having a conversation. I asked you when was America great. You said the World War II was a good year, where black people were still fighting for their civil rights and getting shot by water hoses in the streets.
Where all
Firefighters.
countries have always had problems.
You don't have to get loud.
We've always
You and
had
I- you and I-
problems.
No, you and I
Nothing's
have-
ever perfect.
So nothing's ever been great.
Jesus.
So nothing's ever been great is what you're saying, right? All I'm saying.
You are you are just
I'm having a conversation with you. I'm having a conversation with you. And no, seriously, like, okay, I can now hear me out. I can diffuse the situation to say I did come at the situation a little aggressive because I'm saying, you know what, you're an idiot, you're not paying attention, blah blah blah. I can see how all of that can get you riled up. I get that, but I mean, you have to.
I'm willing to talk.
You have to look at what I'm saying. Anybody that says make America great again, give me a decade where America was perfectly great, right? That's all I'm saying.
Well, all right, let's look back. Now, again, it's like this. It's never perfect. It's never been perfect.
So you can't make it great if it's never been perfect. No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But there have been times that have been better than others.
not necessarily for who though. That's what I'm saying. So I look at Trump, and this is
Look, there were, if you want to bring up slavery, there were black slaves that stopped with that escaped slavery, went and became millionaires, went back and bought the plantations they lived on, and let those slaves go,
and they were
paid for them, and paid
they
for
were
them.
still looked at as less than humans because they couldn't vote at that time.
There were free
no
black
matter,
people.
No matter, they could not vote.
Yeah,
I could
again,
not-
we've all
I could
got,
not-
we
no,
got
but- no,
there's
but no,
slavery right
but
now
you're-
in the
but
Middle
you're-
East. They're selling white people for crying out loud.
You're deflecting.
Well,
but
you're deflecting. You're bringing up
I'm
situations that
I'm having a
existed.
conversation.
I'm bringing up a situation
you brought
that
up
exists.
the Middle East. I brought up America. So we can do we can talk about a whole bunch of different companies, but we're talking about America, countries, not companies. So when was America ever great for everyone?
Again,
for everyone.
we're talking about in relativities here.
Not necessarily. So listen, stop. Don't be on the defensive, because I understand you bring your booth out, you bring the grabber by the pussy, all this other shit. You bring that out
To
right?
get conversations going.
To spark a conversation, but to prepare for an argument is what I'm saying. So that gentleman that he walked up, I said he was wasting his time. And honestly, if you're not going to be receptive to what I'm saying, I'm wasting my time. But I just want you to look at everything as being neutral, right? Look at everything wholeheartedly. You could never experience what I experienced in this country. And I'm
And
telling
you can experience what I experienced. I've
right.
been
No, I
discriminated against. I've gone into black neighborhoods here and been discriminated against. How am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to bitch?
How have you gone into black neighborhoods and been discriminated?
Oh, man.
So here's the thing.
Come on, don't give me that.
gone-
I've walked in with
no.
my girlfriend back in the day.
You've gone to black neighborhoods and been
walk into a
discriminated
black, listen to some music, and then have black guys come up and hit on her and start,
That's not
dissing me.
discriminating against you at all.
Oh,
That's
no.
not discriminating against you at all. They still served you though, right? They still, for the most part, the owners of the establishment.
They didn't try to get me.
No, you're talking about the patrons, but the owners of the establishment didn't discriminate against you, did you? Did they?
Oh, yes, they
No, they haven't. So here's the thing: the way that you
If I wasn't with another black couple that brought me in there,
they
wouldn't.
in that moment is the way that we feel.
We.
Well, I'm talking.
Oh, I'm black. Oh, feel sorry for me.
are you
I'm so
racist?
sorry.
Are
I'm
you
so
racist?
sorry.
Are you racist? Let
You
me
want
know.
reparations?
I'm asking you a
Do
question.
you want reparations?
I'm asking you a
Do
question.
you want reparations?
I'm asking you a question.
Do you want
Personally,
reparations?
I don't need reparations. If I showed you my bank account right now, you'd be fucking sick. I don't need a fucking thing from anybody.
Do you think people should get reparations?
Honestly, yeah. I do.
Really?
Because if you're going to give the Jews reparations, you're going to give Japanese reparations, you're going to give everybody else reparations, but you're not going to give the people that built this fucking building, this entire French Quarter.
2% of Americans own slaves.
Do you think
my ancestors?
That's bullshit. Everybody in America is on slaves. Everyone in America is on slaves. When they first came here, this entire country was built on slavery.
2%.
You think
2%.
So
2% own slaves.
banks loan money to slave owners based on the property that they had. You realize the property that they had were people.
And not many. And how many
You know
of the
what?
people own the property? Again, we're a very small percentage.
People, white slave owners. White.
Yeah, but there were a lot of
slave owners.
poor white indentured people that came over here
I
too.
agree with that. I do.
So they were slaves.
No, they weren't slaves. They still had the right to do whatever they wanted
If
to
you
do.
were indentured back then,
Did they get their foot cut off because? Did they get their hand cut off because they were fucking reading? No, they didn't.
look, I'm not disagreeing. Look, there were horrible things.
How old are you?
72. There are horrible things that happened.
That's it.
I just watched a great movie
72
last
years
night.
old.
It was called. What was it called? Union something. But it was about a guy that
I understand.
escaped.
I'm wasting my time talking to you because you're not being receptive. 72 years, you see the world the way you want to see it. Old dog, new tricks. I understand. I'm really trying
I'm
to
just
have.
saying, look, man,
No.
we're here now.
You came out here looking for an argument. Every day I see you, you come out here looking for an argument, and you never receptive to what someone else is going to say.
Watch one of my videos.
If someone treated your daughter, if that motherfucker walked up to your daughter and said, I could grab her by the pussy because I have money, how would you feel? If someone shot your son in the car for no fucking reason at all, a police officer,
What does Trump have to do with that?
Not Trump. I'm talking about America, period. You said make America great again. I don't think it's ever been great. Perfect. I don't think
I agree with you. It's never been.
But you have to
like,
look at
perfect.
you have to look at it from both sides of the coin. Like you look at it as, oh, it's been great in the World War II.
It's
it was
sometimes
great.
been
But it
better than
hasn't,
others.
because we were still fighting for civil rights.
Well, I'm always-
we were still getting there
Yes,
were
I
still
know that.
coloreds and whites only water
But you,
fountains.
thank
I could
God
still
you
walk-
achieve it. Then you don't
No,
have to sit at the back of the bus.
Not now because we
You
were
don't
still,
have.
we had
You,
to,
you can
at
go,
that time I did.
You got matter
at
of
that
fact.
time I would have.
Matter of fact, now that Jesus, this guy came by here last week, a couple of weeks ago. He says, "I'm going to apply for a job now," and he says, at the bottom of it, it says that blacks and Latinos are encouraged to apply. Oh, why not white people? What the hell? Isn't that racist?
No, it's not, because we're encouraged to apply, because
But they're the ones again. What's affirmative action if it isn't discrimination against whites?
it's not at all. It's affirmative action is put in place to make sure that
It's a quota because of the color of your skin. Am I right?
Only because
It's a quota because
you're
of-
gonna cut me off. You're gonna fucking listen to what I'm saying.
It's a quota
Real shit.
because the color of
bro?
your
I'm
skin.
done with you, bro. I'm done with you.
It's a quota before the color of your skin. And if that's not racist, what is?
So, how was that? Between day and night, wasn't it? I mean, nice couple, intelligent, and then this drag-ass piece of shit. Ah, God. All right. That's it. Thanks for stopping by. See you on the streets.